To measure resistance, you will need to connect the leads to the correct ports on the multimeter. Your red lead goes onto the port marked with the omega, which is also ohms. The black lead will be plugged into the COM port. Before taking any measurements, you need to set the multimeter dial to measure resistance. Rotate the dial on your multimeter until the dial is pointed at the omega symbol. On all multimeters, the omega symbol is for resistance. The symbol stands for ohms, the unit of measure for resistance. To measure a component's resistance, the component must be disconnected from the circuit. Before disconnecting the component, turn the power off. Treat the circuit as if it still has power until you measure the voltage. If there is 0 voltage, then you can continue. The multimeter measures resistance by running a small test voltage through the component. When the component has power running through it, the multimeter cannot read the test voltage. This prevents the meter from displaying an accurate reading. Now that you know how to set up your multimeter, we will go through the process of measuring resistance. Confirm that your black lead is connected to the COM port and your red lead is connected to the omega port. Confirm that your dial is set to the omega symbol. Place the disconnected component away from the circuit. To measure the resistance, you need to place the leads on the positive and negative terminals of the component. In the picture, we are measuring the resistance of a fuse. Notice that one lead is touching the positive end of the fuse and the other lead is touching the negative end of the fuse. When your leads are touching the component, you will see a value appear on the multimeter display. This is your resistance measurement. The display will also show the units of measurement. For example, your display may read 200 ohms. Remember, some multimeters require you to manually set the range of your measurement. If your multimeter is not auto-ranging, you may need to adjust your range to get an accurate result. Do this by slowly turning the dial to a lower range setting. Stop once you have an accurate measurement. If your multimeter is auto-ranging, the multimeter will automatically change the range. By automatically changing the range, your multimeter shows the most accurate and precise value. For example, look at the V measurements on a non-auto-ranging meter. You can see that there are values ranging from 2 to 600 volts. If your meter dial is pointed at 600, you are measuring a range of 0 to 600 volts. If you change the dial to point at the 2, you are measuring from a range of 0 to 2 volts. At this point, you should know how to measure the resistance of a component.